Awesome. So what are some things that you think we, all lactation providers, should know about providing culturally competent care to the Indigenous population?
So I think the first most important thing to know is we can do our best, but if you are not an Indigenous person, the care that we're going to be able to provide, it's probably not going to be, um, I will say it won't be congruent. And I think that the most important thing that we can do is really understand that a lot of Indigenous folks are navigating things that a lot of other folks have no idea about. For example, I'm a first generation parent. My grandparents grew up and went to residential schools that kind of fostered its own sense of trauma. And, that kind of passed itself down into different generations. And so for me and my sisters, I'm the first person in my family for as long as we know of that's raising my own children. And so that experience is not something that is unique to my family. That's just a broad Indigenous experience. And so I think it's really important as we're providing this care to understand that there's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of cultural aspects that we might not understand, and we don't have to understand them, but we do need to be receptive to what people are telling us in their undertones. And so the other thing that I think is really important to understand is that when we are serving a marginalized community, our goal should always be community empowerment. So, I think it's really important when we are providing this care, if we notice that we're having a lot of people from a certain population that are coming to us from care to get that care, I think it's important that we recognize and understand that we also, as being in this kind of privileged spot of being able to provide this care, that we do have a responsibility to help uplift and empower that community. And that can look like many different things. Sometimes that can look like mentorship or bringing somebody in and supporting them. But I think that the overall goal should always be community empowerment. And if we are serving a community, then we should always be doing anything we can to be empowered in that community so that at some point they can take over their own care.